Hello everyone and welcome to this week's weekly wear video for you all. I am excited to test out this product, as I always, I think, am. I suppose there's some products that I test that I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be awful. But you know, this one, I have no reason to believe it's gonna be awful. So this week, we are testing out the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation. It's got a bunch of sunscreen in it. Now this is geared towards people with maturing skin, aging skin, but like I have my fair share of wrinkles and stuff, and you know, I want to try this out. So as you can see, it is a bit expensive, I think, for a drugstore foundation. You get an ounce of product and it is $15.99, so just about $6, although with tax it'll be 16 something. On Ulta's website, it is online only, but you know, you can find it at the drugstore, I'm pretty sure, and that sort of a thing. Now, if you're looking on Ulta's website, it only has 14 shades available, but on L'Oreal's website, it had, I believe, 30 if I counted correctly. So kind of strange to me that they would half the amount of shades on Ulta's website, but that's just the way it is looking here. I haven't found arm swatches yet, but hopefully I'll be able to find some to insert here for you all. But as I said, they say that this is specifically designed for mature skin. It's a carefully formulated foundation that provides your skin with vitamin B3 and hydrating serum while also being suitable for sensitive skin. Evens out your tone, providing a natural, radiant coverage that does not settle into lines. It has all the benefits of a radiant foundation with the added advantage of all-day hydration and an SPF of 50. That's awesome. It is also going to be lightweight, and you know, it's dermatologically tested, so that's great. And they keep the how to use super easy peasy simple lemon squeezy. Just blend it out as needed. Thanks, cool. I had a really hard time choosing which shade I should get based on online stuff, but I settled on number 25 Cream Beige. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how that does. My fingers and toes are crossed in any case. That's about the best we can do here. So, as you can see, I have a plethora of going-ons on my face, mainly period pimples! Ugh, love those. Can't wait till I'm old enough to not have to deal with these or my period. Like, that's just gonna be a happy day. So, I'm gonna give this a good shaking. My skin has been washed and moisturized as per usual. And today, as per usual, not only am I gonna be testing it with my glasses for the glasses wearers of the world out there, and also without primer today, just to see how this does on its own. Also, without concealer to see how this does on its own, see if it has any sort of coverage whatsoever, because I don't feel like it really specified the kind of coverage we're going to be getting. Maybe I missed out on that. I might not have the numerical age of a mature person, but my brain sure shows signs of being mature, in the sense that my memory sucks. Yay! Alright, so I'm gonna dab this on. It smells like foundation, a mixture of foundation and SPF. Now, let's see how this blends out. At least in my no contact or glasses vision, it looks like it's blending in really nicely, but that really doesn't mean anything considering I have poor vision without aid. But ooh, I mean, it looks really dewy, which has me a bit scared, but like that blended in really nicely. This might be a little on the orangey yellow side for me, which is a bummer, but actually like really on the orange side. Why? But as I said, like you can see, here you go. There's the kind of look it gives with the first coat. I guess I was expecting, since it has so much sunscreen in it, it wouldn't have too bad of an orange cast, but wishful thinking is oftentimes just that. Wishful. So, let's see how this does with a sponge, see if it gives smaller coverage or if it really shears it out. Did you hear that? It simultaneously sounded like a shopping cart and some sort of bird animal was breathing its last breaths. What better way to start out our morning? So, there we go. I do think that looks really radiant and pretty, right? Certainly want to see if I can build up the coverage a little bit, but overall blended very easily. I think, like I said, maybe my opinion will change once I put my glasses on, but for now, I'm happy with it. I'm certainly curious to see how it looks once I powder it and everything, since I do have really oily skin. Like, I can't just not powder my face. Disaster waiting to happen. But let's see how this layers. Dang, dude, that layered really, really nicely. I mean, that just looks really dewy and almost airbrushed and gorgeous on the skin. And I was able to cover up a lot of my blemishes. Like, really, the dark ones that I have going on my forehead and by my eyes, like, that actually covered it really nicely. I am kind of shocked. Because, you know, when I hear serum, I think of a more sheer type of a thing, but this gave like a medium full coverage. So yeah, there we go. I'm excited to put on the rest of my makeup, see how this does, and then get on with my day. We can see how it wears, and then at the end of the night, I'll let you know, and then I'll test it some more. It'll be a great time. Ready? Ding! All right, hello everyone, good evening. It's end of the night here. I am looking shiny as all get out. My hair is starting to become poodle status, and I'm ready to go to bed. So all of that points to, let's look at my foundation. Now, I know I said it was looking really oily, which it is. I wasn't lying. But that being said, I think it looks pretty darn good. It did seem to settle into where my nostrils meet my cheek, whatever that part is called. And it certainly did fade around my mouth in my most oiliest of areas. You know, my mustache area and my nose and whatnot. But overall, I think it looks pretty radiant and healthy. A little orange in real life, but overall not bad. So I'm certainly quite curious to keep on testing this out with you guys. It has felt very lightweight throughout the day here, like almost can't even tell that you're wearing a foundation kind of a lightweightness. It does, however, transfer the littlest bit onto the fingers, but that being said, I don't think you can tell that it transfers off. I just have been a little trepidatious of touching my face throughout the day. Like if I have an itch, like my eyebrow is kind of itching right now, I'm just lightly tapping it, lightly tapping the itch out. And you know, that seems to have worked well. So I'm excited to keep on testing this. Oh, it did come off all over my mask though. Let me show you. I had to go and run a couple little errands, so of course I was wearing my mask, but if I'm ever wearing makeup, I usually just use a disposable mask because I don't want to get makeup and stuff all over my cloth one. So when I came home and I saw that this is what the inside of my mask looked like, I was like, oh my word, my face is gonna look horrific. But I don't think there's any lines or anything from my mask on my face, so I was very pleasantly surprised about that. And as I said, it's got me all sorts of excited to keep on testing this foundation with you guys. So I'm gonna go to sleep so that I can go into the next day and keep testing this out, and then I will be able to share those results with you in just a second here. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone, good evening. End of the night on day 3 of testing here. I have so many feelings about this Serum foundation, and I wish I could say they were all positive because I love this foundation. But it also has some flaws that I don't know that I can actually say that I love this foundation. Let me tell you about these past couple of days that you haven't seen yet. So, day 2 of testing came, and I decided to test out the foundation with my e.l.f. matte primer, as well as my Too Faced concealer and my NYX white mix-in medium. All of these things I used for obvious reasons. The e.l.f. matte primer I was hoping would take away some of the dewiness of this foundation. Using concealer meant that I could use less of the foundation, so maybe it wouldn't be so heavy. The white was obviously to hopefully take away from the oxidation, and the orange. So I did all of those things, and then I went ahead and put on this Serum foundation, and once again it just layered and blended out beautifully. It looked gorgeous and skin-like. Love, 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 with hearts as the O's for love. Like, I just can't even begin to tell you guys how lovely I think this foundation looks when it is first applied on my skin. It is truly gorgeous. However, once again, I feel like I didn't mention this on day 1 because I was just so blinded by the love. I know some people get blinded by the light, but I myself get blinded by the love quite often. And while this foundation is lightweight, it gets heavy when my oils come out. So when I started to get hot and sweaty that day and oily, I started to feel like the foundation was really heavy on my skin to the point where I was really nervous to touch my face because it just felt like it was gonna wipe right off. And that was especially being proven when I would touch my face even the slightest bit. I noticed a lot of transfer onto my fingers. So I tried my best not to touch my face throughout the day, and then at the end of the night when I checked in, I thought it looked great from afar, but also super duper oily from afar once again, and also kind of heavy and cakey and cracked around my mouth. I mean, it wasn't horrid, but you know, these things were definitely noticeable. And then when I did my wipe test, it wiped straight off of my forehead and my nose. I mean, to a disgusting degree. However, it didn't leave behind big streaks of no foundation on my face. It was kind of incredible. It just left behind a non-oily area when I swiped at it. So like, kind of cool, but also like not great overall. So here on day 3, I figured, you know, since it seems like I'm personally, as an oily skinned person, never going to be able to wear this on its own, I would try using it as a mix-in. So I mixed it in with my Urban Decay Stay Naked foundation, which I really love, but it's more on the matte side. I used my Guerlain primer this time around, but once again, I used my Too Faced concealer and some white mix-in medium just a little bit to help take away from the orange of this foundation. And once again, I just thought the combo was so gorgeous. It just layered and applied so flawlessly and beautifully. It looks so skin-like and airbrushed, but natural and just fantastic. I love, love, love the way that this looks on my skin when I first apply it. And that makes me so sad, and it makes my voice crack in all sorts of ways, because once I start to get oily, it feels heavy and it starts to transfer, and that's what I'm noticing with it, even as a mix-in like I used it today. I mean, it doesn't look bad at the end of the night here, but I have noticed transfer all throughout today, and it started to make the Urban Decay foundation, which normally is pretty lightweight, feel a little bit heavy. I think it looks a little bit cakey and weird on my nose and in my nose pores, and just overall, I don't know. I mean, I can try this out with some other foundations, but I'm just not sure that it'll even work as a mix-in for me. But I want it to so badly. Yeah, so that's about it. I guess I can tell you guys the pros and cons now, if I haven't already told them to you. Let's get to it in writing form. So, for the pros. Number 1. As I've said and gushed about, initially the finish on this on my skin is gorgeous, like so gorgeous it needs to be capitalized. It is just so good, so good. It also blends and layers beautifully, so if you want to get buildable coverage, bam, no problem, here you go. You get great coverage with this stuff. I mean, unless you have really heavy duty dark spots and stuff, you might not even need a concealer with this. Like, that's fantastic. It looks natural on the skin. It is very dewy, but it does look very natural and nice. It's initially, if you have oily skin like me, before the oils come, it's quite lightweight, like very lightweight. You can barely tell you're wearing anything, kind of a lightweightness. And also, I mean, I do think that overall, even with transfer, it does wear very nicely and has a graceful fade to it, but not completely, but for the most part. So that is where we get on into the cons here. First off being that this does oxidize about a shade or two orange and darker than when you first apply it, so that's a huge bummer. It also feels heavy with wear if you have oily skin like I do, which along with that, at least I'm assuming it's because of my oils. It might not be, but you know, it transfers really badly. Now granted, you can't tell that things transferred or wiped off, but like if you accidentally scratch your face just the little tiniest amount, you're gonna see like huge foundation marks on your fingers, and you're gonna think you look awful, but you don't. But you're still gonna be worried about it, you know? And just overall, the biggest con for me is just that this is not the greatest for oily skin. I so badly want it to be because it's so gorgeous when I first put it on, but I just don't think it's meant for oily skin. I just don't. So if you have dry skin, oh, rejoice. I think this is gonna be great for you. Heck, even if you have normal skin, I would say normal to dry. I don't know, combo maybe, but like your oily spots are gonna give you some problems with it. But overall, I hope this review was helpful for you guys. Please do let me know whether or not I'm alone in my feelings in those comments down below. Let me know what kind of skin you have, and if you've tried this foundation before, how did it work for you? Did you love it? Etc, etc. I love hearing from you guys. You can also let me know if there's any future weekly wears you want me to do. I did just order the new Too Faced Matte Born This Way foundation, so I'm excited for that to come, and hopefully it'll be in the mail quick enough for me to be able to do a weekly wear on it for next week. But if not, it'll be the week after that. But yeah, anything you want me to review, let me know in those comments down below. You can also just let me know if you found this video helpful, enjoyable, whatever the case may be, by giving it a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you're new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe. You can tippity tap that notification bell down below. Become a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I would love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!